ready to get showcased?
Welcome everybody to another live edition of the Showcase Pod. I am Don Vega. This is 30% owner of Showcase Pro Wrestling, the boss Chris Blackheart. You like my intro?
It's not accurate.
Oh,
70% owner, 30% by minority stolen honor.
Eventually, it could end up being 30%. I'm just looking ahead at what could happen. But anyways, we're back another week, another edition of the pod. A lot of things going on in the world of pro wrestling. Last week we had a lot of things to cover. The big incident with Raja Jackson.
I hate to say it's a gift that keeps on giving,
but
there's a couple of different twists on that.
Yeah, Psycho Stu is out of the hospital. His wife made a statement on social media thanking everybody for the support. And he definitely has injuries that he's gonna work on as time goes on. A lot of teeth that were knocked out of his mouth and bones broken in his face and his jaw and all this type of stuff. But we also saw a statement from Rampage himself addressing the issue. You saw that?
Oh, you want to do it now?
Yeah, we're getting right into it. We're getting right into it. Rampage was really upset, and I can understand. I'm a father. You're a father. I can see some of his points when he's talking about, his son. He's not really defending his son because at the same time he's saying that he understood that his son did something that he didn't have to do. He blames him for his actions. Mm-hmm. He says he should pay for his actions, but at the same time, he's been getting death threats. Him and his family's been getting death threats. People are trying to make this a black and white thing again.
That's one thing that I never even considered until this past week.
Yeah.
That people and it wasn't even a thought. It wasn't racially motivated.
Yeah.
And even, who's the cowboy?
AJ Mann.
So AJ Mann, we'll get into him.
Yep.
He's getting racial threats.
Yep.
Right? And the ironic part about him, he's mixed.
Yeah, he's mixed white and black.
So he's getting racial stuff from white people and black people.
Yeah. Guy is mixed, like you said, and he was raised by people from Samoa. So that's why he has the mix of cowboy and Samoan heritage going on.
Yeah, his father said he dishonored the name and he should go to jail.
Well, going back to what Rampage said, he was really upset about the threats and the people saying racial things and stuff. But he brought some points that we talked about last week in his rant. Saying that I guess Stu should also come out and admit to some of his faults, being him welcoming somebody that he didn't know that he assumed was a worker and slamming him over the head with an open beer can.
Well, I think that what came out this past week was there was indeed an angle that was supposed to go on throughout the whole night. And that's why they were streaming, and that's why they were videoing.
Well, the angle, like you sent me a link earlier from another podcast, and I got to listen to it. It seems like the AJ Mann guy was an MMA fighter also. Mm-hmm. He goes back with Rampage and his son. They used to train together, be in the same fighting team, spot together and all that. So in his journey into pro wrestling, he kind of has smartened him up to how wrestling worked. And he says that Raja was smart to know that, certain things you work a certain way in pro wrestling. And he was smart to some of the lingo that we use in professional wrestling. So that's why when his part on the video comes up and he says, you could give him a receipt. You know what a receipt is. That's what he was, referring himself to. But initially going into this whole ordeal, he was there to, meet the promoter, and he was there to videotape AJ Mann in his match because a couple of weeks before that, Rampage had suggested that he should become a streamer himself, and he would get some traffic, and it will help his career. And the kid, I'm talking about a kid again, but Raja, that's 20-something years old, and him could do some type of interaction that will help the both of them in their careers. So he was there to videotape his buddy being AJ Mann in his match. So, I guess Mann cleared to bring him out back wherever they were changing outside and meet the promoter, which in this case was Rikishi's cousin or brother or whatever he is, Reno Anuai, Black Pearl.
It's been very quiet.
Nothing.
To me, that's another story right there.
Nothing to say. So, anyways, he comes in the locker room or outside, and this guy sees cameras, and he assumes, okay, this is a good segue for me to get over. I'm gonna get up and hit him with a prop. I got some heat out of that. People got offended. A prop beer can because Blackheart. I don't give a fuck if the can was open, empty.
This is a prop phone.
Yeah, I don't give a shit if
a prop piece of paper.
Yeah, a prop, a plastic cup. I mean, a beer can is a beer can, and if I really wanted to inflict damage to you with an empty beer can, I could figure out several ways to give you a boo boo with a beer can.
I think the whole problem with that, if they were supposed to do an angle, they weren't.
There wasn't.
But it looked like it turned
into an angle once this thing with the beer can happened. Anuai, he's like, oh yeah, we should just do something with them and have him get his get back in the ring. And it wasn't even supposed to be a takedown. It was supposed to be one punch. He was supposed to slide into the ring and just give him one punch and a story.
So I think what came up this whole weekend was AJ was part of everything. He looked like a bad guy on tape because that was his job.
Well, he was thinking that he's recording all this, that it's gonna get edited afterwards, and certain things were edited to be used against him now. Right. And when you see it.
And we were critical last week on that.
Yeah, I was too. Yeah.
And the part that I'm having a problem with is everything is real. Right, but everything isn't real. Yeah. But this guy, Mann is getting all this heat.
Yeah. Where's the promoter?
Where's the promoter? Right.
Where's the other people involved, like that referee and the guy that pinned him when he was choking?
And I think the guy who can set everything straight, because it looks like Mann. People don't know that they were friends. Now, for a podcast I listened to, Danny, you want to put the picture I put up there with someone to wrestle with? So that aired this past week, and they had him on there.
Yeah, AJ Mann was on there. I listened to it earlier.
And he was saying that they were friends. It looked like they do something on the rodeo between either with stairs.
You're talking about Psycho Stu and AJ Mann. Yeah, they used to connect up.
And he hasn't heard from him since. He reached out between the family, and Stu has not reached back out to him.
He was in the hospital right away. He was one of the first people in the hospital.
And again, the news is not reporting that. He said that the place that he runs a youth program for MMA kids
was hit by TMZ.
TMZ
trying to pay people.
Yes. Yep. That's shitty, right?
Oh, that's media.
Right? That's news. His real job, he got released from because of it.
Yeah.
So my question is, people out there is, the stuff you do in wrestling can and should affect your outside life.
Well, they connect that character, whatever it is, or the situation, they tie that to your personal life. And a lot of people will judge you on whatever character or the persona that you have in wrestling. That must be you in your regular day-to-day activity, and that's how it is.
And people think it can't happen to you.
Yeah,
it happens to us all the time.
Like that, in a heartbeat. You could be in a situation where people lie, where people make stories, where you end up getting arrested, and you ended up going to court, and you ended up going to all these fucking situations. And people right away, people that don't know you at all on the internet, are the first ones to be pointing the finger. Yeah, he did it. Lock him away. Throw the key. You know, all this shit. We're not defending any actions of anybody. I'm just saying, like I said last week, and I'll bring this point out again when, you know, Rampage made those rant that he posted. I'm going to say that, rant. He's defending his son. You know, I would defend my daughters anytime, no matter what. If they did something wrong, yeah, let them deal with it, how it needs to be handled. But ultimately, you're going to defend your kids. And the fact that he stated that, you know, if he would have been there and he would have seen this guy just randomly coming up to his kid and slapping him with a can across the head, you know, he would have handled it right then and there. Yeah. And that's what Raj should have done, you know. In a situation when somebody does something to you that you don't like, you handle it right then and there. Because if he would have spazzed out at that moment and punched him couple times in the face, they would have said, okay, this guy hit him. Yeah. You know, this guy hit him first. He's in every right to defend himself because he didn't know what was going on.
Well, I think what also came up, he admitted that his son was wrong.
Yeah.
He admitted that his actions in the ring were wrong and that obviously he's not going to put out what should be done because that's not his job to, you know, they're going to charge, prosecute, whatever they do.
Yeah.
But, you know, he admitted that his son's actions weren't correct based on the situation. You know, and
he brought a valuable point, too. He was like, you know, if my son would have had a little bit of space in his brain, he would have stopped himself right there and said, okay, you know, maybe this guy attacked me. I wasn't here to do any other stuff. He hit me with a can. I'll call the police. Because in that case, then Stu would have got Stu would have got locked up for assault because technically, if somebody just walks in and you attack somebody, whether it is a prop, a can, your fist, whatever, it's an assault. So you could get locked up just for that, and you could get sued just for that. So you know, if the tables would have turned and he would have used his head, then you know, it would have been a different story. We would not be talking about it right now. But I think at the same time, I'm wondering if the promoter was thinking that could have happened. And that's why he was quick to say, okay, no, let's just turn this into an angle and let him get in there and do something.
Well, and I think this is what happened. I think something happened, something transpired. The audio cameras going around. Hey, we got a streaming service. Maybe we can start working with them. Yeah. I think
we could get Papa to come on down and we'll sell some tickets.
I think it was a lightning in a bottle that just turned bad.
Yeah,
but I'm hoping going into week 3, I think Stu's the only one that can shed light on this and turn everything around.
Well, you know, the one thing, I mean, Stu at this point, going back, I've listened to another guy that, you know, somebody that actually knows what the fuck they're talking about, a guy that's, you know, a lawyer, and a lawyer not only from the lawyer's perspective, but a guy that was graduated from Harvard Law, David Atunga. I watched some of his videos and he broke it down and
pieces of it.
You know, from a legal standpoint, he makes a lot of points that are, you know, we've known about this. When things get ugly in pro wrestling, usually authorities stay away from it because it goes back to what everybody loves saying. Oh, wrestling's fake. Oh, that was a work. That was an angle. So usually police and authorities stay away from anything that happens. If it turned ugly a little bit and somebody got punched and another one got punched back, they stay away from it. Just because of those points that I brought across. Now, going back real quick, do you think it's been, like you said, almost 3 weeks. He hasn't got arrested. No charges have been brought up. Do you think they're going to prosecute him? Do you think they're going to get involved and some charges are going to be brought up?
I don't know. Because, again, I think it's because it's pro wrestling. In pro wrestling, we all know we've all had problems with people in the ring, and
outside the ring,
you like and you don't like, and
it happens.
You know, usually when something gets physical, it's kind of quick. It's not like it's a 15-minute match. It's not. It's a couple of shots, couple of words. Either you get it out of your system, Well, you get out of your system another time, but eventually either you stay away from those people, the circles change, but it's not something that continues.
It's a double-edged sword. I think, in my personal opinion, this is just my opinion, where everybody's entitled to an opinion. I think that Stu has more of a chance at getting compensation in a civil matter than in a criminal matter. I think that eventually, if they haven't moved forward with anything, I don't think he's ultimately gonna get charged with anything here because of all the information that's out there. At this point, there's been a lot of stuff that's been edited as well.
Well, and that's the problem too.
So you have to have clear, convincing evidence when you go to a court room. So unfortunately, I think that he's a guy that definitely has some issues. He needs some help.
Mm-hmm.
What he did was wrong. It was a bitch fucking move to hit an unconscious guy fucking 20-something times. He's definitely a bitch for doing that. And he's dangerous to be walking around because if he did it then, he's going to find a way to get his butt hurt again and he's going to do it again. But fortunately for him, the environment that it took place in is in his favor, I believe. And if anything, I mean, Psycho Stu has the opportunity to make, he took a beating, unfortunately. Almost a beating that ended up really bad.
Yep.
And he's in the predicament to actually get paid for this. So if anything can help along the way, future reference, the damage has been done.
Yeah.
You might as well get compensated.
Well, the problem with that too is, okay, let's say it goes down that route.
Yeah.
It goes down, they have a lawsuit, he sues them, he wins, whatever. Now, would you want him to work for you? And would you want to work him? Because knowing that if I accidentally slip and bust his eye, is he going to sue me?
Well, it's
going on slippery slope.
Well, then again,
because now you have a reputation.
This guy beat the shit out of him. It's completely for me just punching you.
I know, I'm not justifying. I'm just saying.
Yeah.
Do you think
I got your
some
point.
people may be reluctant? Because if you look at on AJ, he thinks he's getting blackballed, but if you work on the flip side, people may not want to work with him.
Well, if this was back in the 70s, 80s, and even the late 90s when we broke into the business, I would say promoters ain't gonna book this guy because he brought the authorities into this, and he's a liability. If he gets touched the wrong way by somebody, he's gonna come after us. But nowadays the business has changed into this softer version of our work. If you want to get into terms of our work, there's a lot softer version of our work. So a lot of people that just cater to certain things. So I think if anything, if he comes back, he's gonna get a bunch of bookings.
Yeah.
He's got sympathy. So that's
right there. I hadn't seen his work. You saw some of his work.
Yeah.
If anything, he's come back as
the ultimate babyface.
Well, see, I'm thinking the ultimate heel. I think if he comes back, he should be that guy. That he goes in there. You touch me the wrong way, I'm going to sue you. I'm thinking like the $1 million Stu.
Well, it could go that route eventually, but I think coming back, you gotta retaliate on all that babyface deal. And we're just speaking. This is just an opinion because this is a wrestling show, and we're booking stuff. Yeah. And we're not saying that that's what's gonna happen or we want that to happen, because I know people get touchy feeling right. Wow, look at them booking all this shit. Yeah. No, we're just having an opinion and having a conversation about what could happen potentially if it were to get to the point that he comes back and wrestles and does all this stuff. But it remains to be seen what happens, man. I just think that because it happened in the wrestling umbrella, Raja might get lucky in the sense that he's gonna do hard time in jail.
Yeah, I mean, obviously reputation-wise, looked like some actions in the MMA world against him.
Yeah.
In the wrestling world, there's supposedly another promotion that wanted to book him.
Mm-hmm.
and that got.
So apparently that
got
promotion runs every 2 shows a year or something.
Yeah.
I didn't even hear about this promotion.
Yeah,
But apparently they're running a Sabu Memorial show coming up at the end of the year.
I didn't see what show they were
Well,
running.
I was listening to Uncle Corny and he mentioned that they did some research on it. So apparently, this promotion runs like a couple shows a year. And the show that they wanted to book Raja in was a tribute to Sabu that's coming up that features the Necro Butcher on the card. So I don't know, man. It's just.
Oh, all right. You want to go down wrestling news on that one, right? So did you see the story with Matt Riddle?
Yes, another headline there.
All right.
Matt Riddle making the news. You know,
Yeah.
he was apparently getting the finger pointed at for no showing an event in the UK that was a benefit show for some charity.
Benefit show on Sunday, I believe.
Yeah, they were the day before the show. It became a charity event or something like that.
Wow. Did you hear the travel issues? Did you hear
Well,
that?
I
I think that's the real story.
They wanted him to fly in on a Thursday.
Yes.
When he was already booked on Friday and Saturday. I think Thursday, Friday, and Saturday he already had bookings. He said, "I'll be glad to take a plane Saturday night or whatever and fly down there and fulfill the commitments." And the promoter said it'd be fine. He would get him that ticket. And then all of a sudden he had a ticket booked for the Thursday that he said he wasn't going to do.
Yeah.
And they were saying that he was going to no-show and all this, or he no-showed or whatever.
Well, and I think the problem was too is when they were going to bring him in that Thursday, they were supposed to get him booked at other places, and or do like autograph signing.
Yeah, none of that was happening.
None of that was happening. So now you have a guy flying in on Thursday,
To sit in a hotel
sit in a
until
hotel
Sunday.
for 3.5 days,
Yeah.
where
He could be making
he
money.
could be making money for 2 or 3 days.
Yeah, yeah.
So I don't blame him for saying, "Hey, I'm not flying in on Thursday."
Well, from what he's saying, he said straight out, if you get that Thursday ticket, I'm not coming.
Yeah.
So then it got, supposedly, this charity, it was never supposed to be a charity event. This charity got added later that week into the whole scenario, and now he's the ultimate heel because he's shitbagging a charity
Yeah, I saw that.
and all this stuff. But it didn't stop there because Blackheart, after he made his point across and he pretty much told these guys to go fuck off, he took it a little bit further to start a little bit of heat with CM Punk.
Oh, I missed that one. Tell me that.
So, they brought up one of these interviews I saw, they brought up AJ Lee
Yeah.
coming back, and I think they asked his opinion. He's like, oh yeah, it's cool, she was one of those that went around the boys.
Uh-oh.
But that's fine, I was one of those guys that went around,
Yeah.
It happens.
Yeah.
So, but CM Punk is a creep anyways because he's been around NXT and he hangs on there a lot
Yeah.
with the female talent. Especially the girl there that he says is like a daughter to him, but he's hanging around awfully a lot around her. Yeah. So, I wonder if CM Punk gonna come back on Riddle calling his wife technically going again on we're opening the curtain.
Yeah.
Going on wrestling terms, he called AJ Lee a rat.
Yeah.
She been around the boys. It means she fucked the boys. So technically, we call that a Rizat.
Yeah.
So, for those that don't know, that's what that term is. If you call my wife a rat, we're gonna have an issue.
Yeah.
So
I'm
I'm wondering if CM Punk at some point is gonna comment back on Riddle. Can Riddle be working his way back in or trying to stay in the pot to get his job back?
Well, okay, going down that road,
Yeah.
there's speculation that with Seth and Becky that it could be CM Punk and AJ.
Oh, that's definitely what's happening.
Yeah. I think that that could be good.
Yeah, that's
Well,
definitely what's
the question
happening.
is, do they do it now or is that a WrestleMania match?
Nah, they bumping that. I mean, SmackDown's in Chicago coming up, which is perfect.
Yeah.
I guess they already got merchandise for AJ in the WWE website, so she's gonna make her appearance on Friday night SmackDown coming up, and that's gonna set up a matchup for future pay-per-view or
Yeah.
PB or whatever they're calling it nowadays. I don't even know.
What are they, PLEs?
PLEs, yeah.
Which, I know we talked about this a couple of weeks ago, and I was listening to a podcast, and Stephanie McMahon, you see what Stephanie was getting in heat?
I saw that Stephanie said she wasn't happy that fans need to pay to watch stuff on ESPN.
Well, and that they, on different streaming services.
Yeah, it's free.
And that they should
different
get,
countries it's free, yeah.
Oh, I just got, get a VPN.
Yeah.
Right, which you just signed a multi-million, almost $billion deal with a distributor, and you're telling people to buy a VPN.
Well, I don't think Steph is in that.
But
her husband.
right.
Yeah.
You're like, no, they don't want to hear that.
Yeah.
By the other hand, that was stupid on her part.
Well,
I mean, by the other hand, it was very smart of them, and they took this off of, I think, football. How football.
yeah, they had
the
NFL package, the NFL package. thing.
But the NFL is on different channels.
Yes. Yeah.
Different games, different channels. Where the idea is now, if you want it, you got to watch on different platforms. Which also means if this platform doesn't want to pay, someone else will pay.
Yeah.
So revenue-wise, WWE really smart.
Well, yeah, they're trying to get
Yeah.
money out of every different outlet.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, it's a business. So
Yeah. As on the fan perspective, now what I did realize, because I think I had the ESPN package. I don't watch.
Yeah, you
Last
don't
time
watch.
I watched ESPN is when AWA wrestling.
you don't
was on.
want. Speaking of that,
Right.
Chris Blackheart,
But
as you
I'm
speak,
part of the you get I think ESPN, you get Disney and something else because that's what the Kathy got the kid a while ago. So I guess I could possibly watch it even though I can't find it.
as you speak here, just for you, you just reminded me that my Philadelphia Eagles are playing the Cowgirls right now. I just got to see what the score is right here. We're live here, folks. Here you go, just for you, Chris Blackheart.
That's the most I've watched the Eagles.
This is the game. Okay, we just scored a touchdown, so it's 17-14.
All right, that's
It
close.
won't be that for long.
As
So
long
I'm
as,
gonna put game right
the
there.
Commanders aren't playing, I'll be fine.
Yeah.
Wink, wink, Brandon.
Yep. A lot of things happening. I mean, when you speak about stuff like this, like Stephanie and different things going on, it just shows me how much the business has changed. Because I don't think a lot of these things will fly if Vince was in charge.
No, I think what's the show that they have on Netflix? Is it?
The stuff exposing. Some of the stuff.
I forget what else on it. The idea is I like it to a small degree, but I don't like it to a large degree. I like the fact that it does show like the work that between the talents doing, especially the backstage. I don't think people realize what the backstage people do, and how this is done weekly, obviously twice, 3 times a week some days. 52 weeks out of the year, where the NFL is very short season. At that part, I think I don't think people see that.
Well, they don't see it, man. It's a Hollywood production in a local arena, in a state, in a country. They transform that whole backstage into a big production that's taking a lot of people to run it, and it's not as easy as a lot of fans might think, that you just go out there and that's what happens. No, there's a lot of people involved, and each of these individuals are a huge part of the job that they're doing.
Yeah. But the thing I don't like about it is, and I didn't watch Clash in Paris, right?
Yeah.
But you saw all the videos and clips of Cena and Logan Paul hugging each other. I don't like that.
Yeah.
I don't like. To me, that's just too far out of the curve.
I still, I'm still a kayfabe guy.
Yeah.
Like I said, it's not all rainbows and
rainbows and butterflies.
Butterflies. I mean, obviously, we saw what happened. We just talked about an incident that happened. And you know what? Going back, I want to go back a little bit, because now we got social media. We got cameras everywhere. We got, literally a second, you could videotape something and it's all over.
Yep.
Back in the day, you would have to think, even before our time, how many times has this happened in certain places that you don't know about?
Right.
How many times did a drunken fan get inside the ring? And back then it was a big no-no.
Yeah.
If you got beat up in a bar or if a fan ran in the ring and the wrestler got beat up, you were done.
True.
You know, so how many of these incidents probably happened that we don't know about, whether it was in the arena or outside? I mean, thinking about, you know, some of these Dark Side of the Ring episodes, and I just thought of this. I was listening to, I think, Jacques Rougeau talk about him and his brother having heat with Dynamite Kid and Davey Boy, mostly Dynamite Kid because he was a prick. Yeah. And if I'm not mistaken, he did brought up a time that they had a match where he had a roll of quarters and he knocked him. He knocked him out cold in the match, in the middle of the ring.
I don't think it was. I think it was a locker room.
You think it was in the locker room? I don't know. Yeah,
if somebody was
correct me if I'm wrong.
It was something. I think he said, if you fuck with me again,
he was gonna knock.
I'm gonna knock you out.
Yep.
And then he did. He had a roll of quarters.
Yep.
He went back in the locker room.
And he knocked him
out. And I think that was the downfall of Dynamite Kid after that.
Yeah.
Because after that, he lost his
credibility
as being the tough guy.
Yeah. So.
But some days you can't keep poking the dog.
So that happened, and then you go back and obviously one that everybody always talks about is the Brody thing in Puerto Rico with Jose Gonzalez. And you know, I've seen a lot, and I talked to a lot of people. I know a lot of people that were there that night, and you know, Eric Embry. You know, for those that don't know, search him on the internet. He wrestled a lot Texas territory and was a mainstay in Texas and a mainstay in Puerto Rico. And he was the booker in Puerto Rico around that time where it was hot. You know, they were drawing 30, 40,000 people in baseball stadiums. And he, you know, he said that, you know, Brody could be a bully at times, and he thought he could get away because he was a legitimate tough guy outside the ring. So he thought he could handle everybody, and you know, it definitely caught up to him. Unfortunately, you don't want to see that happen in the way that it did, but it happened.
Yep.
So how many more times has shit gone this route that, you know, all these people that are stunned might not know about because there was no internet and no sources back then to right away put this out there, cancel this guy. How many of these legends that people, you know, are fans and they go crazy about probably have a history in the past that no one judges them and cancels them. I mean, we saw the snooker thing with the girlfriend back in the day. Yep. It's a lot of those stories. I just hit my...
Well, even now, I think one of the problem is, I think you would think with the cameras being everywhere, people would do less. I think some people are encouraged to do more.
Yeah, because they want to get over.
Because of that.
Yeah, they want to get over on social media. Yeah.
Which I think is, you know, is even worse.
Definitely a thing to go back and, you know, and that could be a whole episode just going back and trying to track down situations that have happened along the years and you know, the decades that, you know, the wrestling business has been around. So, but anyways, going back real quick before we move on to the Clash in Paris. I was going to say the Clash of Champions.
Well,
I used to like the Clash of Champions.
I love the Clash of Champions.
You know, those were some real good shows. But yeah, going back to Clash in Paris, I'm just going to talk about one match briefly because that's the one that stood out when I was watching the whole ordeal, is that women's matchup with Becky Lynch and Nikki Bella. You watched that?
I did not.
Well, save yourself some time.
That is good.
Save yourself your eyesight and don't watch that match.
Fantastic.
How bad...
Was bad.
How bad do you have to be to get put... It's just crazy, man.
Well, okay,
it's just,
it's
just...
I can't say why was it good, but why was it bad?
I mean, multiple mishaps of communication, I guess. There was a one ordeal where Nikki Bella goes and she goes into the middle turnbuckle and comes out with a kick, and Becky was on the other side of the ring. She completely kicked the air.
Was the air okay, or did the air?
I guess the air probably didn't sell it, man. You know, it's a prop.
The air prop.
That must have been it. But horrible, man. It was it was bad. You know.
Well, so I have no idea how long she's been training or being retrained because you're out of the ring for a while. And I tell these people all the time when they come back, your mind thinks you have it, your body and your mind, they're not connected. So maybe it's too soon for her to come back.
Well, when you never had it in the ring to begin with.
I'm not going down that road.
I'm going down that road.
But it is.
I am going down that road. It's a completely different era of women's wrestling than it was back then with the Divas division.
No, totally.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
There was a lot of girls that were fitness models or whatever their beginnings were, and the wrestling was crappy. There wasn't wrestlers. It was the shits. So, you know, you bring some of them back that were kind of questionable back then, and you bring them back now, and it's
not there. I think the name value is there.
Yeah.
And like anything else, bring them back, do exactly what they can do well, which is probably hide them in.
Well, you know,
and again, in a 6-man, 8-man, battle royal.
Yeah.
Shine them up, make them look good. Don't expose them. I think that's exactly unfortunately what they did. They exposed her.
They should have definitely brought her back so that we could look at her, because I love looking at Nikki.
Yeah.
She is hot.
Yeah.
But I just don't like looking at her wrestling.
Yeah.
Because it was never there. I think her sister was a lot better in the ring than she was.
Yeah.
So, you know.
But still, don't bring her back either.
Yeah. Let's stick to what we have now. I mean, yeah. And even at that, there's some that at this stage, when women's wrestling is just as competitive as the male wrestling,
well, I think
there's some that are still rough around the edges.
I think that's, everyone knows I'm not a big fan of women wrestling. I'm a fan of, I hate to say, women who wrestle like men.
Well, yeah.
I
like Jordan Grace and Raquel and all those
I like
guys.
when they're at that level. That they're good because they're good wrestlers. They're not that good because they're a female
they're just
wrestler.
a good wrestler.
Yeah. And I said it a couple of years ago with SummerSlam. I remember you were there with Mr. Benton when we were on better terms.
Yeah.
As in, not me and him, but me and you.
Yeah.
But the best match of SummerSlam, I thought that year was Oscar and Charlotte Flair.
Yeah.
To me, that was the best match, period, on that card.
Yeah, I've
Not
seen
just because they're women. It was the best match.
It was just the best wrestling match. And that's been the case in many of these pay-per-views. I go back to the old school pay-per-view. It's been the case in many of these where the woman just had the better wrestling match.
Yeah.
And for some, but there's some, like I said, that are still rough around the edges, and some that are.
Well, no, and we have that independent. I mean, I know there's a new crop of girls around here that, I'll be honest with you, they're only getting booked because they're females.
Oh yeah.
And I do watch it to say, hey, they should be training at our place.
Well, that's a lot that are getting booked.
We've invited
that are like that.
people to train. I watch some of their stuff. I'm like, no.
The footwork's horrible. The timing is horrible. Their strikes is horrible.
Foundation, basics, and I think a problem too, and we'll go down the rabbit hole of wrestling schools, is that people, I think, train people now to do moves.
Yeah.
Learning moves, not learning how to wrestle. And we just had a couple of our guys went down to AEW, which was fantastic. So in the last 90 days, we've had guys underneath our banner who've wrestled for WWE. They've worked with TNA and they worked with AEW. And do you know why? I'm going to give you the formula. Basic is foundation. Mm-hmm. That's exactly what we teach, and that's exactly what we build.
Yeah.
And without that, yes, you can get booked on shows. It's great if you get booked on 5 shows and in the month of September. But you have to build it, and you have to be ready to be criticized in a positive way.
And that's the problem.
And you have to be built, and we call it all the time. I call it sandpapering, because we did it literally like Wednesday with Coach Kenny, and you're doing international. And I'm watching the guys from afar. I usually let Kenny run the class on Wednesday.
Yeah.
And I'm watching it, and I'm not even looking at their facials on us. I'm watching their footwork.
Yeah.
And I'm like, I think it's great that you guys know how to do it international, because I'm not questioning that.
Yeah.
I'm questioning the little things of what you're doing to make it look better. And I brought up a match to one of the kids of you, and I said, hey, were you around when Vega wrestled Savio? Not Savio, Carlito.
Mm-hmm.
He goes, I think that was just before I started. And so if you watch that match, they did like an international with a hip toss. I think it was I'm not sure it was bicep. I said, watch it. It was clean, it was simple, and it was good. And guess what? That was already done in that car that night, but it was so good because it was done properly and cleanly and professionally. You had two professionals in there doing it. And that's the difference.
That's the difference, and whether it's me or whoever is doing it, and it's funny that you bring that up because I use that sometimes when I'm talking to guys. I'm like, you're gonna go to a show. There's probably gonna be hopefully. We do 5-6 matches. There's some shows that might have 7 or 8, but those 7 matches before your match are gonna probably do a lockup and a headlock and different things, and people are gonna look at it and be like, what the fuck was that? Oh, okay, this that. But then you could be that match that does the same thing, and it looks properly and it looks like a fight, and you're making those little adjustments that you need to make, and it's gonna stand right out like a sore thumb.
It does, and it elevates. And we just had a talk with the people under our program, and anyone who looks at us now, we call it the Showcase Wrestling Training Center program because we do just more than teach wrestling. It is the whole psychology and ethics and professionalism, not just wrestling moves. But we were talking to people about you go to other places and you work with different people about how you look. How you train. Like half of our guys put more training time in a week than half of their rosters that they're working at go for the month.
And it's funny how
or 6 months or a year.
Yep.
And it's not criticizing anybody. It's just we have a different way of doing stuff,
well,
and it shows.
It's just funny how you brought that point up, and we've had guys go to other places and like, oh, you train at Showcase, and they go, oh yeah, this, that, but they have no idea what the program is.
No.
I guarantee you the majority of those guys won't go through our initial warm-up.
Yeah.
Never mind getting to the point that you're training in the ring and learning stuff.
Yeah. It's ironic because I know like in every place goes, they have different waves of stuff. And we used to have a lot of 30-day guys. Mm-hmm. They came in for 30 days, and then they left.
Yeah.
And then I remember we had like a string of quitters that they wanted to do what they wanted to do.
Yeah.
And that's not how we did. And this was probably like, 5, 6, 7 years ago, And I know like between us 5, 6 years ago and even us 3 years ago.
Yeah. It's a whole different ball game. It's a lot of trial and error.
There's a lot of, and when we made, and we told this before, when we made a focus, to not just change, but we tighten up stuff to make sure that if you come in here, we want you to stay here, and we want you to grow and build. And we want to get you to that higher level. And I love it when people have been to our place, they've quit our place, or they've been to our place, 5 years ago for 5 months, and then they quit because they don't like me, or they don't like you, or believe it or not, they don't like Sarge, whatever the excuse of why they didn't want to do it. And people usually not going to tell you good stuff, places that they quit.
Yeah.
Now the thing that I do love now is we call them light bills, right? And I don't like light bills, right?
Nah.
A light bill is somebody with zero potential.
I used to hate light bills.
Right?
Blackheart.
No, that they're only there to literally pay the light bill. And I will make that light bill into the best wrestler if they are putting the best wrestler they can be for themselves, as long as they can come and put in the work.
Oh, that's a big thing.
If you're not coming in the work, you just want to float in, 1.5 times a week. And you're not coming to practice, you're not going to birthday parties, you're not going to the shows, the road shows. We can't make you better.
Yeah.
And then when you fall off, you're going to say, well, they really didn't help me. I can't help you if you're not there, which is ironic because we do a lot of stuff outside of the business to help people get better in life.
Well, this is always on, and we've had both of us have conversations with people after hours, when the school's not open, when we don't have shows on a weekend, when somebody's going through something. This is always on, and usually we're right away answering back and trying to work through the issues and helping people through their issues.
Which is, it was funny. You sent me a message the other day checking on roster, and there was a kid I'll bring it up so you can see it. Yeah. So he was a kid, right? He hasn't been out of school, what, 4 years maybe?
Yeah.
Right? And he thanked me for reaching out. And my last thing after he texted me, everything's been going through, a lot of life change to say the least.
Yeah.
And I said, hey, reach out anytime, I'm always here.
Yeah.
This is someone that hasn't been out of school for like 4.5, almost 5 years.
Mm-hmm.
You know, so.
Yeah, we try to make those connections with people on a day-to-day and on real life, because a lot of the stuff, believe it or not, that you learn in the professional wrestling business can help you in your normal real life. I mean, there's a lot.
We do, and we do. We get a lot of guys and gals, like they're 18 to like say under 30. You know, they're going to school, getting out of school, didn't go to school, 9-to-5ers, hard workers, you know, chasing the paycheck, chasing the dream. So some days they don't have a support system or some of the knowledge of real life.
Yeah.
Now, obviously, we're older, we have a little bit more experience, you know. Some of them, and we kid about this, you know, a couple of weeks ago, a couple of kids didn't know how to write an email,
Mm-hmm.
you know, or answer an email. They go, no, I use Instagram. Like, no, you can't send Instagram to like WWE or AEW or TNA.
Yeah.
And I said, no, it has to be done in the format, or even check their email.
Mm-hmm.
You know, it's like, hey, you got to check it, you know, at least twice a day because you don't know
Yeah,
when stuff's coming in.
yeah, exactly.
You know, or if you have an email, this is another thing, all right? Professional tip right now. Do not have your email Bionic Dan Badandi, 1978,
There's something simple.
1776,
Yeah.
Smith & Wesson, I love guns. Right? Don't have a very simple professional email, your name, you know, it could be Gmail, Yahoo, whatever.
Yeah.
You know, like
And you want that be
Yeah.
close to either
I'm not
your,
gonna- I
your shoot
want-
name or your
Right.
work name. You know.
there's one guy is like Raptor 1981 at Cox.net,
Jeez.
right? You know who that is, right?
I
Yeah,
got.
you do.
I got.
Right. But I'm just saying, don't put your sports team.
I got
do
it,
it,
yeah,
do
yeah.
it. Do it professional. I don't care if you like the Raptors or
Yeah,
the Commanders.
yeah.
Put a professional. So if you're not sure about how to set up an email, do it. We'll help you with that. So.
You know, speaking of emails and names and keeping stuff simple, you know, Vince was really big on that, and that's why you saw certain guys come in that had these names, and they were either cut it down to abbreviation, like Triple H,
Yeah.
like Andrade, you know, because it was easier for people to remember. And if you got a name or an abbreviation of a name that is easy for fans to chant,
Yeah.
then you're gonna get over quicker. People are gonna want to chant your name.
Yep.
If you gotta say, you know, like you said, Dan Badandi, Bionic, 1970, how can you chant that?
Yeah, you can.
So Vince was big on just, you know, straight to the point. This is what it is. It's easier for people to remember, easier for people to
Well,
chant.
different emails too. I'll put dbadandi or danbadandi@gmail.com.
We're not picking on you, Danny.
No,
We're
I
just
know.
using you as an
No,
example.
no, it's just some people don't realize it,
Yeah.
or they're like, oh, I had that email since I was in high school. And I said, obviously, it looks like you did.
Yeah.
You know? So I'm going to give you a hint. When you guys do emails, do not put the year you were born. I hate when, and people, it would be like Dan Badandi, 1978. Hey, Dan, were you born in 1978? Oh my God, how'd you know? Because you put it in your email.
Yeah.
I get what you guys are saying. Like, you make it simple. You know?
No,
Yeah, you
but
gotta
make
make
it
it simple.
simple, make it professional,
Yeah.
and do not tie it to it. Because this is true. What happened if I don't like Smith and Wesson at 1776?
Yeah.
I may not give you that job because Dan Badani's a gun guy.
Yeah.
You know, people just
You gotta
that-
separate
that- that should-
sometimes
yeah.
your preferences
Yeah.
of stuff, and then when you're going for a job, you gotta stick to what's gonna get
Yeah.
you over in that
Yeah,
environment.
be as simple. Check it multiple times. I'm gonna give you a hint. Make a folder in your phone with various emails. Email 1, 2, 3, or 4. So when you're sending a reply, you just copy and paste it, change your name.
Yeah.
You know.
So Chris Blackheart, speaking of copying and pasting and leaving comments and You've been on my Facebook page the last couple days.
You know, I
This
kind of.
Raja thing, this prop can
Well,
thing.
you know, I am glad that you're arguing with people more than I argue with you.
Well,
You know, Mr. Cena.
I wasn't.
I'm not picking an argument. Cena, pick up your phone.
It wasn't even an argument, Chris Blackheart. I had this individual made a comment on a post that I brought
Do you
up.
have a copy of the post? Did you?
It's up on Facebook.
Did you put in our chat or the pod?
Danny's on Facebook. You can go on my page.
All right,
You know, you can follow that page if you're watching Don Vega at Facebook.
All right.
You know, so I made a comment. I made a post. You're on the wrong page, Daniel.
Oh, I'm getting to yours.
Yeah, go into my Facebook.
It's probably like Don Vega, 1984.
No. Just
Underscore.
straight up Don Vega, whoever that is. And you go to scroll down to my post.
This one here.
Keep going. No. You know, right there where this video of this clown is. So it all started. The original post. Go down more. Go down. Keep going.
Oh, there it is.
So the original post started with a comment I made about still shots that I saw from the Raja incident.
Okay, I did see that.
And you know, we've heard it time and time again, and I'm gonna clear the air with this. So we've heard, I know I've heard over 20, 30 podcasts with different people that never cover wrestling.
Yep.
People that don't have any clue about pro wrestling whatsoever.
Yep.
But because this incident was popular and it was all over the world, basically, right? They decided to cover the story to get clout and to get ratings and to get views and likes or whatever. And they mix always the negative points about the business and how they try to establish that we're a joke and everything that we do is a joke and everything's a prop. And I was tired of listening to these idiots that never cover wrestling.
Understandable.
They just going by the word of mouth,
Yep.
like we always do of other people. All right, it's a prop can. Oh yeah, it was just there because they knew they were doing it. No, it wasn't. If you're smart and you're looking and you're paying attention to details,
Yep.
when you watch these videos, you can see that there's multiple cans in different spots of people drinking their beers.
So they bought a 12-pack
Of prop cans.
Of
Yeah.
prop cans.
Apparently, they bought multiple.
What kind of flavor they have?
I don't know. I didn't get into those.
Stone Cold, did he use prop cans too?
I think so.
Yeah, Sandman used to use prop cams all the time. That's why the fake blood used to come out
yeah.
when he was hitting
Oh,
himself.
those are extras. I can't
yeah,
buy those.
yeah,
When I go to the prop wrestling store, RS,
So, anyways, yeah, that store went bankrupt.
I feel sorry for the Pritchard family.
Anyways, you know, I got tired of listening to all these shows and the big headline before they got into the whole oh yeah, you know, he had the fake in a prop can. You know, they use these prop cans all the time. I'm like, first of all, you don't report wrestling.
Yeah.
Second of all, you don't know shit about pro wrestling. You're just some mark that talks on the internet and has a show about gaming or has a show about all this other shit. You're hanging around with your friends and now you're hopping on a boat to shit on wrestling because you don't like wrestling. You're just getting the clout of an unfortunate incident that happened in the combines of a wrestling show. I got tired of it, so I made my comments. I'm like, look at all these prop cans around.
That's funny.
So, you know, this guy that used to be a wrestler hops on the comment and everybody's, you know, it's a public post. Everybody's entitled to an opinion. But they're also entitled to get a reply, right?
True. Oh, wait a minute. Only if it's nice.
Oh,
Were you nice?
I have to be nice.
Did you pre-apologize for your future comments?
So he sends me this huge page of how unprofessional of me calling the fans marks. And first of all, I just clarify, these people on the internet, majority of them, they're not wrestling fans. They're idiots that want to expose things that they have no clue about. All right? So, you know, and fans do comment. And I'll say it again. Fans know what they think they know, but they don't know shit.
Right.
Unless you're there busting your ass in a ring day in and day out, training and going to all these shows and making these towns, you don't know shit about the wrestling business. Fuck what you heard and who told you. Unless you live in it, you don't know. So I made that point across, and this idiot didn't like it. So he gave me this rant page, how I'm professional and all this. The can was empty, so it is a prop because the can is empty. So the marks are right and I'm wrong. Wow, what a point he made. So, in typical fashion, I could be, a little, and you'll appreciate being a little fucking arrogant prick. And I'm like, I put the emoji with a big ear.
Yeah.
And I'm like, yeah, teach me more. I'm all ears. That's all I replied back to him.
That was nice.
So when I reply that, he goes and deletes me from his friends list.
That was funny.
Mind you, I know this guy, right? I've seen him in locker rooms. He did shows for NECW. Him and his girl friend or girlfriend or friend or whatever she was, I seen both of them work for NECW and PWF, and he did work for NWA on Fire up in Maine. Tries to no-sell that we know each other. I spoken to this guy about bookings back in the day.
Yeah.
He asked me to get booked for a promotion. I used to be the booker in Connecticut, Latin Wrestling Alliance, back in the day. Now, we probably know each other through networking, but I don't think we've ever met. He sends me this other long-winded message when I brought the point across that, it's kind of like a bitch move to comment on somebody's post, and then because you didn't like my reply, you went and deleted me.
Yes.
And you made this whole big fucking paragraph about how it's childish and unprofessional, and then he blocks me. Completely blocks me.
That's what bitches do.
Yeah.
I laugh. I have never, since I've been on Facebook, I think since like 2007 maybe, right?
Yeah.
I've never blocked anyone. I've never deleted anyone. Like, how much time am I going to waste? Even this like what, an eighth of a second?
Yeah.
I don't have the time.
Here's the kicker about all this, Blackheart, because you know me, I get bored, I get entertained by some of this.
Yeah,
If I got a couple minutes to kill, I'll entertain this just for my own personal fun. So now he's like saying, "Oh, how trigger were you to make a post about me deleting you? I affected you so much." But you're the one still replying to me. You're the one still replying on my page, and then you go and block me completely from finding your information on Facebook. So then I had a friend of mine reach out and says, it's funny how this guy is talking about professionalism, because a couple of years back, he got pissy in the ring and pulled a Raja with a green guy and tried to break his arm in half and sweared and did the video's up there. We're not gonna play it because I'm not gonna give this guy any
Was that
plugs.
the same guy though?
Yes. So the guy that was trying to
Was that in the tag match?
school me about being a professional almost broke somebody's arm that was green and didn't know what he was doing in the ring. He took liberties, like kind of like backwards Raja situation.
And that's one problem in wrestling. People have been around, we don't forget.
Yeah.
These newer guys, they think that history can be forgotten and rewritten. You can't.
So it's just funny because usually when somebody's pressing an issue about something and they trying to act like they're, exempt from the inferno, the blazing fire, because they've been saved by Christ. Usually, they have some monkeys in the closet. And for that guy, they came out right away. And it's funny because there's been years I didn't hear about this guy wrestling anymore. So that could have been it. He probably got canceled because he did that. And that was a new was to cancel people. And, by any means, I'm saying that I'm a saint. I've been known to be rough around the edges. And I've been known to rough a couple people up, not to the extent of taking liberties and breaking somebody's arm or breaking somebody's leg. But technically, it's my work style. I like to, make contact. And I like to make contact in safe places. And I like to keep my shit tight. So, it's a big difference between that and I'm going to grab your arm and I'm going to snap it in half.
I don't like that.
When you're giving me your arm. So, big difference there. But yeah, I just thought it was hilarious that this guy was going off about a comment I posted, a post that I made, commented on still shots that I saw, and he wanted to teach me professionalism when he was nowhere near to say anything about being a professional when you're going off on some greenhorn trying to break his leg and his arm.
Yeah, that's not cool. I don't like that.
he probably thought this video was nowhere to be found, but you know, the beauty of the internet, the beauty of people listening in the background. And
well, speaking of being found, where in the world can we find Joel Davis?
I hope he's not breaking an arm and a leg, man.
Danny, do you have that updated flyer? Put that flyer up.
Roscoe's in Cranston, Rhode Island, September 25th, 7 p.m. So keeping it real comedy tour.
At Morosco's Bar and Grill in Cranston, Rhode Island. That's a 21 plus event, and there you see the posters on the screen, Danny.
Yep,
Posters on the screen right now. QR code there on the bottom corner of the poster. You can get your tickets ahead of time. 21 plus, $15.
Yep, in advance and 20 at the door.
20 at the door, so get them in advance. Save $5. Go see how the real deal Joe Davis, keeping it real comedy at Morosco's Bar and Grill in Cranston, Rhode Island on September the 25th.
But before then, we're coming back to Taunton on the Friday the 12th.
Yeah, that's just next.
It is. That's next
week
Friday.
coming up.
Next Saturday we
coming
are
up.
in Woonsocket. Just let you know, the guest we had last week, would you like to say his name so I don't butcher it?
Shire Shable.
Shire Shabo will be in either singles or tag
In Taunton.
with Astonish Aiden. Now Aiden may have an injury in his knee, so I'm not sure if he'll be able to compete against two of your young friends.
Well,
Possibly in singles or tag. Thank you for not returning my phone call, John, before 9 o'clock.
well, you know,
Of 17 Jump Street.
John's been busy.
Come
he
on.
had a Labor Day cookout. You know, we'll
For
get.
4 days.
I mean, a lot of guests.
Now,
I'm just
now I wasn't invited this year, which is
No.
more than fine.
No.
Did you go this
You
year?
know, I don't blame.
Did
no,
you go?
I wasn't able to go. I was invited though.
Oh, that's fine.
What? You happy I wasn't able to go?
No, I'm just,
John did say
John does do a nice barbecue for Labor Day. I'm just saying.
He'll get back to you as
All
soon
right,
as he
but
can.
okay, so for those who are wondering right there, those are two of the matches we have. Your stuff,
Well, I got the instructions from John.
huge issue right there.
What's going to be happening?
Yeah,
so-
well, come on, that's bullshit, okay?
now,
is
now
bullshit.
you're getting pissed.
No,
We're
no,
talking about people
no,
getting pissed.
you know, I know,
I just
because
said
here-
one word and look how he acted.
No, because here we're, it's like a
I got my
little more than a
instructions.
week away.
You know
And
that.
John's not allowing
you know
us
that
to do
Puerto
it. He won't
Rican Kill
confirm it.
Crew. We have, a separate endeavor with Mr. Cena. And those are separate endeavors from Showcase Pro Wrestling, which you are, 70% owner. We get certain instructions that we might bring or not bring to this event coming up on the 12th in Taunton. With that being said, the 12th, Friday night in Taunton, 7:47 p.m. bell time, 82 Ingle Street at the BFW Hall. Don't miss the opening show for the fall season of Showcase Pro Wrestling. A lot of things happened the last time we were there. People got busted open. Certain people, they got their haircuts. Other people, they left wet spots in the ring, and I slipped, and Blackheart got hit in his cojones. I don't know what happened there, but all the answers to that will shortly be coming at the BFW Hall in Taunton.
Now, what I can tell you, on Saturday night, Cena won't be there. For some reason, Cena does not like Woonsocket.
I mean,
He's never liked Woonsocket.
God damn.
All right?
You like Woonsocket Day?
But in that one, if Aiden is cleared, it's supposed to be Shia Shabo, Astonishing Aiden, special referee Logan Mock here, as recently seen on AEW TV,
Oh, God.
versus 17 Jump Street.
Are you a big fanatic now because he was on AEW TV?
No, I haven't. Logan?
Are you having conversations now?
Logan. You were supposed to call me. Hopefully you didn't call Cena.
Well,
don't listen to Cena right now.
Hopefully now that
he
he's
wasn't
on-
helping you when you did nothing, just because you did
Well,
something.
well.
You know the number, 508.
Well, Chris Blackheart, it's good that not Mango, what's his name again?
It did take me a while. I wasn't.
Machina? Logan Machina?
I think Machina. Yeah, that's
Yeah,
pretty
yeah.
cool.
Okay, so
The Mango, I did call him Mango for a
he
while.
was on that AEW segment. He
Yeah.
did, get an opportunity alongside AZ and Scott Lader, Brother Moon Revan, whatever he's calling himself
Yeah,
nowadays.
he's a stranger.
They all made that appearance yesterday on AEW TV. If you haven't watched it, it's on our page, Showcase Pro Wrestling, on Facebook, SP Wrestling on all social media. So go check it out. That's good, but he still needs to get some meals because that whole thing about TV ads, 10 pounds is
No, do it.
it's bullshit. So
I'm hoping Tony Khan. Hopefully you fed Maki pretty good, and hopefully your Maki you're still eating.
I don't know. I think Danny, go back to that not that one. Yeah, go back to that. We're gonna take a moment to show the clip of
Right.
Tony Khan right now. I think he was going to catering to feed Machina.
It is. So let me see.
Yep, he was
Whoa,
he was running, man. He's like, this kid
Was
needs.
that on TV?
I don't know what it was, but I know he said this kid needs to get fed.
Then
Let me
he
go
ran
grab
out?
him.
Well,
Let
that
me
was
go
pretty
run
nice.
out and grab him a meal. So
Make
there
sure,
you go.
Tony. Make sure you cut the crust off his sandwich.
Oh,
Supposedly
okay.
that's how the kid likes it.
Oh, okay. He likes the Uncrustables.
I guess so.
I like those too, but on other news, serious news, this is a gentleman that I seen in the past in the New England area. He was a mainstay in Beyond Wrestling, and he worked a lot in the area. I don't know him personally, but I saw a lot of things being posted. He unfortunately had a heart attack, and he's on the road to recovery. And there's a GoFundMe set up for Jaka. He was a wrestler for Beyond Wrestling. So for those people that are in the area that watch the podcast and they were Beyond Wrestling fans and a fan of the gentleman up on the screen there, his family's going through some hard times now, and hopefully he has a speedy recovery there. And if you can support him in any way, there's the link for his GoFund to help him get back on his feet and hopefully get him to live life in a comfortable manner once again. So it could happen to anybody at any time. So hopefully Godspeed to him and his family. So if you can help out, there's a link. Danny posted it up. It's life, man. Life
Well, and
deals
that's
you
why.
many cards.
And I know we've done some plugs in the past, but this is some people don't know that I am in the financial industry. That if you have any questions regarding planning, life insurance, disability, future investments, and how to make your life better, you can go to chrisraelireland.com, set an appointment, because guess what? Just like that happened, you never know when life changes.
Yes.
Between health reasons, heart attacks,
Yeah.
jobs changes, you need somebody on your side to walk you through. So that's a free consultation. Just give me a call, sit down, we'll have a real conversation, and we do wish him well.
Yes.
We speed of recovery, and again, you never know what's going to happen. So in a case like that, if you have something in your pocket, instead of buying that pizza for the night, watching Netflix, renewing Peacock that just went up to $10.99. Send a couple of bills, because it's tragedy when that happens to a family.
Yes, indeed. Moving on to other events, the following week from Showcase Back in Action, we have the 25th anniversary for Powerhouse Wrestling returning to the Sturbridge Hotel Event Center in Sturbridge, Massachusetts on September the 20th, 7:30 p.m. bell time for that event. There you see the poster featuring Rich Swann, the real one Enzo Amore, yours truly, the Young Guns tournament to crown the first champion featuring AZ, Christopher Spratt, Danny Cabral, and Jay Evans, and someone that I could give to, I'm not even going to say it, Gangrel, Vampire Warrior that now apparently everybody in New England wants to bring in the Vampire Warrior Gangrel, right?
Well, I think that's great. We showed the clip last week of him winning the CCW Heavyweight Championship. So when he does his great New England tour, he's going to be defending the CCW Heavyweight Championship, the Powerhouse Heavyweight Championship, when he goes to all these promotions in New England. So my question is, will you be getting a rematch when you lose on the 25th of these other promotions in New England?
That's not going to happen, Chris Blackheart. So whatever New England tour he's got going, it starts September the 20th at Powerhouse Wrestling in Sturbridge, Mass. Street fight for the Powerhouse Wrestling Heavyweight Championship. And, you say whatever you want, Chris Blackheart, but I got a couple tricks up my
I'll
sleeve.
be honest with you. Now, I know you think I'm really biased because I normally don't like you like 70% of the time. But you could possibly
we're getting into numbers now.
You could possibly throw wrenches into people that have got great bookings ideas. So what happened if you just don't beat Gangrel, but you take him out? Because we know, and the people don't realize is Gangrel makes a lot of his money coming in October.
So why you trying to?
What I'm just saying.
You trying to get me in this Raja boat now?
No. Besides, what I'm saying, if you have a match with him and you beat him so much in that match, and you take his title, or you break his spirit, you ship him down to Florida, he may not be in a condition to come back to New England.
He might not.
So you may have to go to all these promotions and take his bookings.
Well, that could be great. See, Chris Blackheart, when you're on the ball, I got a hint. That was the smartest thing to come out in the last 2-3 months. See?
No, but I'm just saying,
leave it there. Don't ruin it.
This is me, the business guy.
Don't ruin it there. That's fine. I'm not gonna take anything away. Gangrel is a legend. He's been all over the world. He's been a champion multiple times. WWE. Japan, Puerto Rico, he's been all over the place. And I'm not underestimating him for one bit because I know he's still a dangerous guy, especially in a street fight. But I'm going to be ready for that, Chris Blackheart. And I got some people watching you because you better stay put because I know you're going to be in the building that night.
I will be in the building. I can't just drop Gangrel off and leave. That's why they're up in Sturbridge.
See the shit that I deal with there?
Is there going to be any cash exchange in the car on the way to the venue?
Oh, that already happened. I mean, the guy comes out of nowhere. Guys worked for Powerhouse Wrestling in the past. It's been 25 years. He's worked. The last time Gangrel came in was 20 years ago. Now suddenly he wants to come in and challenge me out of all people. He could have wrestled Enzo Amore. He could have challenged Rich Swann. No, he wants to challenge me for my title. Why is that?
So he's hated you for 20 years? He's coming back?
I have no idea. There's something smells fishy, and it's not those people that usually hang in Woonsocket and Taunton. I'm just saying.
Well, if you say like Fall River, New Bedford, that makes more sense because there's fishing docks there.
I mean, I'm not talking about the fishing docks.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
We've got the last show. The third show Showcase has.
Yes, let's go to that.
We're going to bring that one up. That's the special.
The 27th of September.
Yep.
Showcase Pro Wrestling making their debut. If Danny could pull it up. At Woodville Rod and Gun Club in Woodville, Mass. 2 p.m. special start time, early afternoon, 2 p.m. bell time. That's an outside event?
It's an outside event. Doors open at 1:30, or literally the trees open at 1:30 because it is outside.
Yeah.
So it starts at 2 and around 4. It's an outside. Just let you know on your GPS, we didn't know Woodville and Hopkinton is the same thing.
Yeah, it's the same thing. Yeah.
So if you put in your GPS Hopkinton, it will show up. It's right off the nice off 495. It's about 12-minute drive off 495. That's the first time we're doing it, so this is a big break, Danny. You're gonna enjoy this.
I heard Danny's wrestling a bear.
A bear?
Yeah, coming out of the woods.
That could be it, Danny. They have a nice clay shooting there that you may like. Not at this show, Danny, but it's a nice little gun range. Or you actually like gun
guns
clubs,
and suplexes. They like it.
Yeah, we did that. I think we call it body slams, bruised, and that's kind of they never rain. Yeah.
Guns and
It's kinda
suplexes.
You know. Now that we brought the point, obviously, if you've watched the podcast for a long time, you know that we're gun owners
Yes.
in this podcast, and we enjoy going out and shooting and all that. It's funny, not funny in that way, but it is funny. The media hasn't covered more of this incident that happened with this doofus at that school.
Yeah.
A couple weeks back, unfortunately, he shot at some kids, and I think he murdered 2 kids, and there was like 17, 18 kids that were injured in this incident. And it's funny that they mentioned it once or twice, and I haven't seen any other updates on this
Well, I think the
individual.
If you want to go down the political realm, I think the problem was with literally the profile of the alleged shooter is.
It doesn't fit the narrative, so that's why they're not making a big deal.
Well, to me, an asshle's an asshole. No matter what it is, you're fucking around with kids. You want to go and take people's lives.
Yeah,
Talk about a pussy and a coward, whatever he wants to call himself. I don't know what the deal was. It doesn't matter to me what the fuck he thinks he is.
Yeah.
To me, he's just a low life and a bastard and a coward to shoot himself after what he did. You were a pussy. If you want to do that type of stuff, hang around for the consequences after.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, and obviously, I mean, a lot of we don't go down a lot of this stuff in the show because we're not a political show.
Well, I just felt,
No,
I have my rant. Go back.
If you have a mental issues, we have numerous people on the podcast who have tried to commit suicide. We've known people commit suicide. There's tons of help there. If you're going down that road and you want to hurt yourself or somebody else, call people that you never thought would pick up. Again, we talked about earlier. Hey, you can call Kathy. She's calling right now, right? But the idea is there's people to help you. Do not hurt innocent people. They're not the people that you're mad at. There's plenty of people that will help you go down the right road, which is right for you to get you better.
This guy was bragging about hurting kids shooting kids, and he put a bunch of stuff on his guns and his clips, and this is for the kids, and his mother apparently worked in that school, so
that's a
to an
shame,
extent he knew what he was doing, and he was gonna enjoy what he was gonna do, and
it's the same script that we shoot.
So
They're on psychotropic drugs, mentally ill, and they shoot themselves.
Yeah.
it's a pussy fucking move, bro.
Yeah.
No,
Yep,
it's-
exactly.
Nope,
College.
Danny, we may have to go on one of your shows and,
Yeah.
and break that. When is your show here? For all the fans
On Thursdays
from A
and
to Z
Fridays.
who loves you.
Yeah, put it out there, Danny,
Put it out
because
there.
I know you break
TruthRadioShow.com.
down that sort of
Yeah.
news and information. So
And it's sickening how they exploit the deaths of kids to push gun control.
Yeah.
That gets the kids killed to begin with.
yeah,
Well,
that's
what's your link, Danny? Tell people your link, where they can find you.
TruthRadioShow.com.
And when does it typically air?
Thursdays and Fridays.
Thursdays and Fridays.
All right.
And
Truth
random
Radio
ones.
Show. Okay. All right. So,
All right.
with that being said, do we have anything else for this week? Because
No, I think the biggest thing, follow us on social media, SP Wrestling, on all social platforms. We're going to be revving up the TikToks and new videos coming up. SPW fan page on group that is on Facebook at Showcase Wrestling Fans. All tickets are available now on showcasewrestling.com for 3 events, and also for Taunton and Hopkinton. Those events are also on Eventbrite.
So,
Eventbrite.com.
so stay tuned to that. To all our social media for updates on all these upcoming events. But for now, that's all we have for this week. We'll be back here next Thursday for another live edition of the Showcase Pod. For Danny Badon, for this guy right here, the boss, Chris Blackheart, and myself, Don Vega. We'll see you right back here next week in the Showcase Pod.